Welcome to Learn Law Better. Have you been wondering how to prepare for class in law school? Today I provide you with a plan that will help you learn the law better and faster. Hi, this is Bo Baez, and today I want to give you some advice on preparing for class. But first, let me share with you a little bit of brain science. Anytime we learn new information, our brains begin to create a place for it, which are called schema. This happens because we naturally try to create order out of disorder. As your schema becomes more organized, you retain new information faster and more complex information comes to you more quickly. This is why a course like torts starts with the easier to understand causes of action like battery, and only later in the course deals with things like proximate cause, which is intellectually more challenging. This allows your brain to better categorize the various topics in your torts schema. So now that you understand a bit of how the brain works, let's see how you can leverage that knowledge for more efficient studying. In a traditional classroom, you read cases. The cases are organized by topic, which is good. But when you first read the case, you don't have a context for what you're reading. This means that your brain is working very hard to create a schema for it. But if you don't learn the material correctly, your brain has to first figure out that it has gotten it wrong and then reshape the schema for the correct information. So step one, create an outline for each course so that you have a skeletal grid in which to place your newfound knowledge. A great place to get an outline is from your casebook's table of contents. Roman numeral 1 will likely be the intentional torts, Roman numeral 2, negligence, and so on. So now that you have this skeletal outline, let's talk about how to use that outline in preparing for class. Step 2, use a concise hornbook. Because I understand that cases are difficult for novices, I always assign a concise hornbook for my torts class. A concise hornbook provides you with the law organized by topic. So on the first day of class, my students are required to first read the battery topic in the hornbook and then the assigned cases. That way students have the context that they need to understand the cases better. Now, is it possible to learn the law using cases only? Sure. But that is a very inefficient method because you are constantly trying to figure everything out. So before each class, make sure that you read the black letter law found in the concise hornbook. For more information on how and when to use study aids, listen to my episode called When to Use Study Aids. Some of you are wondering, my professor would have told me about this approach if it works. Most professors teach using methods that worked for them. The question your professor should be asking is, what method works best for you, the student? A bit of history. The case method was developed in the late 19th century at Harvard Law School during a time when most of the law was found in cases, not hornbooks. So it was a very practical method back then to get students immersed in the cases. But a lot has changed since the 1880s, including how lawyers conduct legal research. All right, let's talk about the cases you need to read. Each case will provide you with a rule. A case, though, might not provide you with the rule you need for exam purposes. Thankfully, you will know the rule you need because you read the concise hornbook first. Case books often provide old and new cases so that the professor can show you how the law developed over time. If you see this scenario, don't forget that the only material you need is the modern rule for exam purposes, unless your professor says otherwise. Also, you may find some cases that provide rules only followed in a few states, again placed in your casebook so that your professor can compare and contrast approaches used in different states. Usually you don't need the minority rule cases, but again, it depends on what your professor tells you need for the exam. After you read a case, make sure to brief it using the approach I recommend in the episode called How to Brief a Case. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to see more material that can help you succeed, hit the subscribe button and then the bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications of my latest videos. Also, don't forget to check out LearnLawBetter.com, where you will find more resources to help you succeed